Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to our professional development webinar Wednesday that we have monthly. I'm excited to see everybody here today. And today I'm excited to have Carla Mickle from Morton County and Adrian Viewer here in the state 4-H office, a specialist with shooting sports, and both of these experts to share with you about the hunting and wildlife curriculum that they've been customizing here for North Dakota 4-H and some exciting things that we have upcoming for the fall. And I just wanted to make a note too, tell y'all that next month in April, we're going to have Erin Bain from American Income Life Insurance to come back and talk to us. She did it last year as well, and there's been several requests for a refresher about insurance for our upcoming achievement days and fair seasons and for camps. So she will be back in April, and I originally had scheduled that for April the 20th. But then I was told that was right during a support staff conference. So she's able to move it to April 27th. So I'll send a reminder, but April 27th, 11 o'clock on that Wednesday, Erin Bain, American Income Life Insurance. And then we'll have another one in May. We'll take off June and July and hop back for August. So we'll go ahead and get started with Carla and Adrian for this morning.
Great. Good morning, everyone. I'm excited today to bring you some hunting and wildlife curriculum that I've been working on. And it very much mirrors what is done at the national level, but more catered to all kinds of experiences here in North Dakota. So just a little bit of history with the hunting and wildlife curriculum or the discipline itself. It is part of the shooting sports program. It was actually developed about 25 years ago, and they put in place a contest at the national level here about 18 years ago, according to the history that I was looking up. So it's not new nationally, but it is fairly new to North Dakota. A few years ago, I took in a training over in Minnesota and became a certified instructor for the hunting skills program. It's a great program. It really gives kids an opportunity to learn about and engage in more of the shooting sports program and put that more to work as far as having opportunities to hunt wildlife in North Dakota, not just in North Dakota, but utilizing those skills too in other hunting areas if they wanted to pursue hunting in Montana or Wyoming or Colorado. It just really gives them some great basics as far as being out in the wildlife or not out in the wilderness and hunting scenarios that they might come across. So with that, I am going to share my screen and go through a PowerPoint presentation. I have some fun slides for everyone to see and then some material to go over that you can actually request from me that I've been collecting in partnership with the North Dakota Game and Fish Department. So, and Adrian, anytime you have anything to add, let me know. Thanks. Okay. Okay, so I'm hoping everyone has a screen with the, okay, hunting and wildlife curriculum for North Dakota. And so the hunting skills program, it's one of the several programs that are offered through the shooting sports program. It really helps young people develop their personal confidence, discipline, responsibility, teamwork, self-esteem. We've seen that in the archery program and in the shotgun program, how youth's self-esteem actually really increases. And then sportsmanship as they become ethical hunters and self-sufficient outdoorsmen and women. And really it's encouraging kids to not only utilize the skills that they're learning in some of the shooting sports disciplines they're currently in, but putting them in situations where now they can use that not just in a competitive place, such as the archery and the shotgun and air rifle, but utilize those skills in a real life setting and use it for recreational purposes. It creates awareness, knowledge, and expertise in all of our young people, their thought processes and behaviors. It may include different simulated hunting conditions to provide the best practical environment for reinforcing a young hunter's skills. And really, it's intended to increase skills to pursue recreational hunting in North Dakota. Interesting fact, but in the state of North Dakota, our hunting population is actually declining. And that's because youth are not participating like what their grandparents did or their parents did. So again, this is a really great way to be able to encourage them to use it as a recreational sport as well. So As I said, the hunting skills material was first put into place about 25 years ago. They have had quite a few updates and additions to it. A few years ago, they added orienteering, which is the compass part of hunting skills. We'll talk about in a little bit. They have wildlife identification, a lot of different components. And the program's not new, again, nationally, but to North Dakota, it's the first official rollout of the program to the state. And we have had 2 teams from North Dakota actually participate. Both of them I have helped with here out of Morton County. I have myself and then another instructor that attended the training over in Minnesota to become certified instructors. And so we took kids down to see what it was all about and to kind of get lay of the land of what a contest, how it's set up. So I'm hoping that we can do something like that here at the state level to encourage kids to participate in hunting skills and potentially go down to Grand Island, Nebraska and participate at a national level. Some areas of study do include hunter responsibility, hunter safety. So all the kids that are involved in hunting skills, there are firearm components. So you do have to, one of the prerequisites is to have hunter safety, orienteering, the use of compass points, outdoor skills, wildlife identification. There is small bore rifles, so the 22. There's shotgun component, which is sporting clays. Most should note that shotgun with the sporting clays is supposed to relate to some real life hunting situations where there might be a pheasant that flies overhead from you and you know, you want the opportunity then to take the best shot, really identifying those shots. And you know, you never know necessarily when you're out walking where the wildlife are going to come from. So I know they have a target that actually bounces across the ground, and that one is meant to simulate a rabbit. So different ways that kids can learn some shotgun skills. And then archery is 15 shots at some 3D animals, which are the fake animals that we have. We try to use animals that of course are similar to those found in the state. So the alligator and the cobra we won't be using, but we have quite a few deer, and we have some turkeys and some coyotes and different things that we would set up for the kids to participate and shoot at. So again, this event includes wildlife identification, and that's something that, you know, is a hunter that you should have some familiarity with. And then of course, management practices and wildlife management techniques. Participants will be asked to identify specimens or parts of specimens, including skulls, furs, wings, feathers, antlers, horns, tracks, scat, or other signs. So I put together a few, so we'll see if you guys can guess here what they are. We'll start off with an easy one. Anybody want to put that in chat or shout it out what it is?
Bald eagle.
You got it. Hey, how about this next one?
Bobcat.
Yep. And this one?
Lynx.
You got it. Okay, can you identify this animal's scat? Anybody?
Looks like a goat or a sheep.
A goat or a sheep? Anybody else? White-tailed deer. Yes, Sarah, you got it. Okay. How about this one? Anybody? Nope, not a black bear.
Moose.
Nope, not a moose. It is an elk. Yes. Great job, Sarah. Okay, next one. This one's a little tougher. Anybody?
Otter.
Nope. One more guess. And then I'll give it to you because this one's a little tougher.
Turtle.
No, turtle. Okay. This one is actually a red grouse. So, okay. So the next screen here I have is Another activity you can do with the kids, so not only wildlife identification, but really thinking about your hunting trip and things that you might bring with you on a hunting trip. And Adrian, I took bug spray off. So anyways, different items, knife, ammunition, you can have the kids write down, make a list of what they would take on a hunting trip and remind them this is all stuff that they have to take with them and carry in a backpack. So whistle, band-aids, or first aid kit, water, rain gear, waterproof matches, compass, gloves, maps, sunscreen, blaze orange. Really the list can include many items, but these are just a few. So things that you can do with the kids, not only, like I said, the wildlife identification part, but really get them thinking about planning a hunting trip and what they would take on their hunting trip. So with a whistle, does anyone here know what the universal sign is for you need help or you're lost? Anybody? Rusty.
So one whistle blast is I kind of need some help, so sometime soon, please come. 2 whistles are like, I'm kind of bleeding out, so can you please come help me soon? 3 whistle blast is I'm being attacked by a bear, basically.
Okay. So so universally, 3 whistle blast is I'm in an emergency and I need some help. So the other ones are great, but the ones that you really want to remember, especially if you're lost or you are hurt, you want to utilize the 3 whistle blast or 3 shotgun, shoot 3 times in the air, any of that kind of thing. Yep, basically SOS that you need help. Thanks, Rebecca. So it's important to have a whistle, and that's one thing kids don't always catch during hunter education. So it's definitely something to visit with them about. So some materials that I have that are provided as part of the hunting skills program that I put together is the Hunter's Guide. This is from the National Rifle Association, and I ordered a bunch of them, so I do have them here in the office. But this book is actually about an inch thick, and it has everything in there from wildlife identification to making a hunting plan to where to hunt. It's got how to set up a range in here, all kinds of different tools that you can use. So basically it is the hunter education guide, but about 3 times as thick. And so it's a really great tool to have. And again, I have those in the office. And so if you would like one, what you can do is I started putting together packets and then we moved our office. And so I found everything yesterday and I'm ready to put together packets and get them sent out. So if you would like them in your office, I can certainly send you one. You just want to send me an email and I would be happy to be able to send that out to you. So that's the Hunter's Guide. The next one is the Plots Guide. And again, this is the Private Land Open to Sportsmen. And this is another book that we'll be using as a reference guide for a state competition that we'll talk about here a little bit later. But this is a really useful tool. And so what we want is kids to learn how to be able to utilize this book. And so I do have these in the office as well. And I can get those to you as well. So when you're requesting materials from me, just a heads up, the Hunter's Guide, those books, they're actually $10 a piece. And Adrian told me that I could give them out. And so I will do that. When you request them for your county, I can certainly send you other materials in a large quantity, but the Hunter's Guide, I'm going to limit to 2 per county. So those you'll have to share with your coaches. If you have someone that's going to help out with this, then if you can share with them, because otherwise that is going to get pretty expensive pretty fast, but everything else is free from the Game and Fish, including the next couple items that I'm going to show you. So this is the different hunting proclamations or hunting guides in North Dakota that we have. And I went over, and again, Game and Fish was great at being able to put all this information for me together, and I could bring it back to the office. So the kids would get information on all of these hunting proclamations so that they can go through and they can do some studying of the proclamation guides. And the last one that I have is these two books are wonderful. I don't know if you've all seen them or not, but the Hunting and Trapping Guide for North Dakota, it's a really neat book. It has in there sunset and sunrise times and how to figure that out, which a lot of folks don't know that for every 12.5 miles west or east of Bismarck, you actually gain a minute, or you have to transition your sunrise and sunset times by a minute for every 12.5 miles from Bismarck. So Bismarck is the center point, and a lot of people don't know how to figure that out. And so the Hunting and Trapping Guide has all that kind of information in there. Everything from ATV use, right-of-ways. It has some wildlife identification in there, and a lot on trapping. So there's a lot of really great information. So that also comes with the packet of information that I would have to send out to everybody. The other one is the Tracks and Signs of North Dakota Wildlife, and that is a really great resource. It is actually laminated. It fits in your back pocket, and it has on the one side, if you can see it, a little ruler up to 8 inches. And so that yellow part on the far right side is your ruler, but it has tracks in there. It has identification of different wildlife in North Dakota. It has scat, it has where they like to bed down, and tracks. And so there's a lot of great information. And again, that would come in the packet that I send you as well. And so you would get as many of those as you would like. I can send those to you. Or if you want me to send you one right away so you can take a look at it, and then you can request more later, that's fine too. So with hunting skills come some actual shooting disciplines that are part of that. So for our state contest, when we roll it out here, we're just going to do the archery and the small bore rifle for the first year. So archery will consist of 15 shots at 3D targets, and they're placed at unmarked distances. And one thing with hunting skills is no binoculars or rangefinders are allowed. So everything is unmarked. And so archery will have 15 targets. Typically shotgun is 15 targets and will be scored as a hit or a miss. That's all it is. And so that one we aren't going to do, but that would be sporting clays. And then small bore rifle is 15 targets as well. And that one is just going to be a heart and one shot. And with small bore rifle, those are actually paper targets that we'll be utilizing for that particular discipline. Okay, so that is all I have with that one. I do have one more thing to share with you. So this is what I put together, and it models what the national contest is all about, but it's more specific to North Dakota. So when you go down, if you have the opportunity to go down to Nebraska and actually participate in the national hunting skills competition, you're going to want to study everything there is about Nebraska and their wildlife that they have down there, their topography, all that kind of stuff. So you want to study all of that if you go to nationals. And the reason is because to make it more fair to all of the states, they say, okay, you're going to study up on Nebraska, and that's what you're going to learn for hunting skills. So then everyone doesn't bring to the table a lot of things that they might have different wildlife within their state. Like, for example, you get down to Louisiana and one of their wildlife is alligators. So of course we don't have those, so we're not going to study that, but we're going to study everything that they have in North Dakota. So that's what we're going to do here for our state contest. So some of the things we have available are the Hunting Leaders Manual and the Member Manual, and that will be up and running on the Google Drive. The NRA Hunter's Guide, which is that big thick book, which I would provide for you. Then there's also some really great, I don't know, see here, I guess if I turn my background on, no, you can't. Okay, if I turn my background off, I can show you these. But there is, let me do that. Okay, so these books, and I thought I put a picture up of them, but they're from Federal Ammunition, or cartridge, and there's one on big game animals, one on upland game, one on ducks, geese, and swans, and then the other one on small game and fur bearers. And so that is some additional information that I would send you again in your, we'll call it curriculum packet, for you to study. And then a couple of other things that are useful and are suggested by nationals, but this is up to you to purchase or to find other materials, is the Be Expert with Map and Compass, and then the Animal Skulls book, the North American Animal Skulls. But again, those resources, if you just Google it, you can find a lot of information online with those kind of things. So you wouldn't necessarily have to purchase them. But again, we're going to really focus on the North Dakota state game laws and the federal laws that go along with them, like federal migratory birds. But we're going to provide very specific scenarios to hunting in North Dakota. And so that's, again, what we're trying to really have kids learn and study about so that they become more engaged in hunting opportunities here. So again, the proclamations that we would send out to you, the deer, elk, moose, bighorn sheep, and then spring goose and the spring turkey, the plots guide, and then there's a link here for sunrise and sunset times, but again, that's included in the hunting and the trapping guide that we would send you. So some other things that you can use, and there's different activities you can do with the kids that are in that hunter, in the manual, the hunting leader manual. So orienteering compass, pens and pencils, a protractor. Of course, you want ear and eye protection. Clipboards are helpful. So these are all things that they suggest that you provide if you are participating, especially at the national contest. Prohibited items while competing, of course, are radios, electronic or digital compasses, cell phones, smartwatches, range finding equipment, field guides, or binoculars. And then I typed up here specifically what is used for shooting equipment as part of this. So again, small bore rifle, any safe rifle in the .22 caliber with a maximum weight of 8 pounds. See, there's shotgun information here, 12 gauge or smaller, capable of 2 shots without reloading. And then bows, of course, recurve or compound suitable for hunting. No crossbows will be allowed. Drawing no more than 60 pounds, and then suitable arrow tips with field points only, no broadhead tips. So, and again, they talk a little bit at a national level, and a lot of this I copied right from the national level, but they have the wildlife identification, they have game calling, hunter skills, which includes everything from, it is a written exam, but it's all information out of the NRA Hunter's Guide. So they talk about standard or blind location are used, first aid kits, you know, when and where you should tag your animal, ballistics, calls, hunting plans, everything that you would need to study for that particular exam. And it's true and false, multiple choice, and then there are some matching and then some short answer questions as well. They do have a section on map reading. We won't be doing that at the state level, and another thing, we won't be doing compass here this first year either. We're primarily going to focus on wildlife identification, hunting scenarios, archery, and small bore rifle. And it would be done in stations. So again, that hunting scenario or hunting decision making. One really great tool, and I couldn't get it to work for myself, so I didn't want to have it up as part of this presentation and then it fail epically, is shoot or don't shoot scenarios. And if you go to YouTube and you put in there shoot or don't shoot hunter safety, you can come up with all kinds of different scenarios where the kids can actually watch and determine if it's a safe situation to hunt or not. So one of them was shooting across water. You know, don't shoot across water because if you learn hunter safety, it could ricochet across the water and it could damage something on the other side. So, you know, one of them is shooting across a field because there's this really great elk that you can shoot at. However, there are houses on the other side of the road. Is that a safe shot? And so it's things that you can talk about with the kids, and it gives them another opportunity again to look at some different ways to really look at hunting when they're out in the field hunting. Again, we talked a little bit about the shooting, and that's going to be 15 targets of archery and 15 for small bore rifle. Okay, anybody have any questions for me at all?
Hey, Carla, I saw a couple questions in the chat from
Sure.
Becca, and I saw from Brenda. Can you talk a little bit about certification and how that's going to work this year? They were
Yep.
interested in being certified.
Yep. So this year with certification, you have to be a current instructor in some in either archery or shotgun. And so since those are not, small bore rifle, I'm sorry, or archery, sorry. And so if you are certified in that you can actually be with the kids out when they are doing some shooting, then what we would do is we would be able to have you actively participate, have your county participate. But we want to make sure that we have some kind of shooting instructor on the line or with the kids so that they can be able to shoot safely. Now the studying portion of it, if you want to get together and have some volunteers go through, like different wildlife identification and things like that, you can do that. But again, for the shooting portion of it, if you are small bore certified or archery certified, you can do this at the state level.
Is there a training that they could go to as well? Like, when is the hunting training?
Currently, I don't have a hunting training lined up.
Okay.
That was, I guess, something I didn't consider, but we can. I can do something, I guess, up at camp. I hadn't considered it before, but if that's something that folks wanted to learn about, I could provide something, I guess, up at camp.
And I saw in the chat too, several of y'all had put down that you would like copies of your packets, and I have written that down as a sticky note, and I will connect with Carla on that as well. So thank y'all for dropping that in the chat, and she and I can connect on getting you the packets.
So we are considering, and I have a date set, although it was mentioned that I'm kind of taking a risk there, so I'll reevaluate that. But that there would be a state contest for this event the Thursday of teacher convention. So that would be October 20th at this point, just because I can get Game and Fish to come and help with some different things. They can bring up some pelts and some skulls and things like that from the Game and Fish office. But because weather can be iffy then, I will look at a different date earlier in the year. And like I said, the first year, we don't necessarily have to send anyone to nationals, but we can get everyone kind of situated and the lay of the land of how it works. And then we can certainly hit that a lot harder next year. But if someone wanted to go this year, we could absolutely entertain that as well. I mean, in 2023. Okay, don't have a shooting sports program. Okay, so the question is, so we don't have a shooting sports program in our county yet. Would the first step be to get some instructors certified for those? I guess I would encourage you to get some instructors certified, but again, for the book part of it, you can have one of your other volunteers work with that. But when it comes to the shooting portion, you would have to have a certified archer on the range. Or not archer, but a certified instructor, either in archery or again, the small bore rifle. Adrian, we would take an air rifle as well, right? If you're air rifle trained.
Yes, if you're trained in air rifle, you're also certified in small bore. The one thing I would say is, and what she's stressing is that, you don't have to be certified to do the hunting skills part of this, but you do for the shooting, because that's where the insurance liability lies. And, if, I don't know, we do have some trunks, I think, with animal skulls and that, so there may be some resources in our trunks that also work with this. I don't know if we've really looked at that. So if there's some startup costs for somebody, maybe you would present that to me, and I would probably help supplement some of your needs for supplies as far as maybe we could buy some things. It just depends on how many they are and what the needs are, so. Let's see here. I lost my meeting thing. So but anyway,
So the biggest expense that you're going to really accrue here is, there are some activities that are in the hunting skills manual that you might want to participate in. There's a small cost to those, but a lot of that, like there is an opportunity for, what do they call it? A camouflage lesson where you put someone in camouflage and you put them out into some trees, and then you try to have youth find where they're at. And that's just showing, how good camouflage can be in a situation, and how when you're out hunting, you don't randomly just shoot the gun, because you just never know if someone is, trying to hide out in their tree stand or their hunting blind. And so you really got to watch. And so trying to identify those, like in a set of trees or in some of the cattails that we have, those kind of situations. There's another one, they call it a Carmelita challenge, where you put caramels out in grass, and you have to go out and try to find caramels. And that's really trying to determine no hunting areas. So you give the kids some parameters, like, okay, you can't go over past the sidewalk, and you have to stay within the trees. Make sure to put some caramels outside of that area, so like on the sidewalk, but they have to stay, on this side of the sidewalk, not out by the street or the park. And you say, okay, where did you find this caramel? And if they say there, okay, well, that's no hunting area. So there's some really neat things that you can work with kids on, and just give some good ideas as far as hunting scenarios go. So the other one is expense would be, of course, the ammunition. Small bore rifle and shotgun shells, are not cheap right now. And so even finding them is a little difficult. It's getting a little easier, but that would be probably your largest expense.
I see another question. Rebecca, you said wildlife is both archery and firearm shooting. You want to explain what you mean by that, or what did you mean?
I just wanted to make sure that it was both firearms and archery that is being shot, correct?
Yeah. So
No.
at our state contest, we're going to do small bore rifle and archery. We're not going to do the shotgun component of it here. I have to get a few trap throwers to be able to provide opportunities for a sporting clays kind of atmosphere, so the kids could shoot. And I don't have the means for that right now. I have to get a little creative. And so for this year, we're going to do archery and small bore rifle, and then we'll do the testing part. So like the wildlife identification, the hunting scenarios, and those kind of things. But at a national level, it absolutely includes shotgun, small bore rifle, and archery.
What's your email?
My email? Yep. It's here. I'll type it in the chat box, or it looks like you're in a vehicle.
yeah, they're on a phone.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. It's KARLA.MEIKLE@ndsu.edu. Any other questions? Oh yeah, I can put it in the chat. That'll work. Okay.
So Carla, can I show them our
Yep.
our state events booklet?
Yeah.
So they, I don't know if Carla, so I'm gonna try and share my screen here. It lets me do that.
Oh, I gotta stop sharing, don't I? Or nope, I did.
You should be able to share, Adrian.
Can you see that?
Not yet. It's coming, I think.
I don't know why, but
There
it
you go.
moved over. Is it okay?
I see the 2022
Yep.
book. Okay.
Yep, right. So, yeah, I don't know how many of you know this because it's kind of a secret probably, but this is actually on our 4-H website under volunteers and resources. And if you scroll down to the very bottom of the page, there's a link there. It says Shooting Sports Volunteers. If you click on that, everything about that's in shooting sports, as far as a booklet or practice materials or anything like that, is in that link. And that's the Google Drive. So we have our archery manuals, our hunting skills manuals, and anything that we have available just about for shooting sports there. And this is one of the things that's there. So if I scroll down to page 20, then this actually identifies some of our committee members, which fluctuate somewhat, has the general match rules for different things, team composition rules, iron protection, coaching, smoking, dress code. This is kind of our Bible in a way. So, and you get down to here, we have what we call the event synopsis. So this actually has what we do in North Dakota as far as the standard events. And last year, this has been a year in the works to get hunting skills up and running. So Carla has actually put this together last year, and now it needs to be a little bit more updated with what she has added to it, because we've kind of nailed down finally what we're going to do with it. But on page 20 is the hunting skills section of the synopsis. So all the stuff that would be used to go to nationals is in there, but there are also materials that she went over for us. So if we didn't know at the time how we were going to base this, but we did say this could be North Dakota based. So all the stuff is in there. Participants must include prohibited items. She went over, gives you all the parameters for the shooting equipment and the hunting scenario, all the things that happen in that time. There's time limits. I don't know if we even mentioned that. Wildlife identification, everything is here, and including muzzle loading, rifle, archery, everything. But that's where the hunting skills can be found. So,
Hey, Adrian, which folder in the Google Drive is it in? I can put that link in the box.
it's if you click, go down to the bottom of the volunteer and resources page, there's a link there. It says Shooting Sports Volunteers, and you click on that, and then that opens right up into the area that has all these. I don't exactly know what folder this is in. It's just shooting sports. So,
Sarah Clemens just shared it. Thanks, Sarah.
okay.
Thank you.
So you can do that for anything that you want. So
Just a reminder too, the hunting skills, since it does include a couple of firearms where you have to be 11 and older with hunter education. So right now that's where we're focused, is 11 and older. Perhaps down the road, some of the wildlife identification can be used with some of the younger kids. But because it does include the shotgun and the 22, it is going to be 11 and older. Yay. I see someone who's 11. Yay, Rusty.
well, if this would take off though, we could do just the air rifle and archery for younger kids, and then include the hunting skills. A shorter version of the whole contest.
Yep, there you go.
And I'll put in the chat the link to the document Adrian was showing y'all.
I like that, Rusty. I got 2 of them.
Any other questions for us?
Hey, Carla, what was the date again for the you're hoping to schedule the state contest?
Okay. Right now I have it scheduled for October 20th. But again, because snow in North Dakota likes to come early, I will look at partnering with Game and Fish and seeing if I can move that ahead, perhaps to early September. Our state shotgun event here is, I believe it's August 12th. I'm gonna look real quick.
And is the October the 20th a third, like you said, a Thursday?
It
You're-
is a Thursday. It is right now during teacher convention.
And so you're
So-
thinking October 20th at the
Yeah.
camp, right?
Right. Yeah. So right now I have state shotgun event on the 13th, so I wouldn't be able to have an event the beginning of August, and then we get into school. So I could try for a Saturday in September, perhaps, if the October 20th date is not good with Game and Fish said it was fine, but if I can get it a little bit earlier, I'll get it scheduled for a Saturday in September. So
Rebecca says, is hunter safety part of the curriculum?
it isn't. So hunter safety, you have to go to the Game and Fish website and sign up to receive alerts or sign up for a class. If you are in a situation where the classes in your area fill up really fast, I suggest you get on the notification list, and they will notify you as soon as those classes come out, because I know they fill up fast. I'm also a hunter education instructor. My class filled up super fast this year. And so, yeah, you want to sign up for those notifications. So.
At the beginning, you mentioned a little bit about trapping. What do you envision as far as trapping and snaring being part of this program?
So it would just be questions about trapping and like the different traps that you use in different situations. The hunting and can show it. This one here, the hunting and trapping guide, it just has some really, I guess, brief things on fur bearer and trapping. So like beaver and raccoon, badger, you know, what kind of snares to use or what kind of traps that you have. So there would be questions about seasons and the different traps that they have, like a foothold trap or enclosed foothold or colony trap, those kind of things. Again, questions about sunrise and sunset are in there. They talk about cable devices. So those are the kind of things, but they would all be questions that would be from this little book here. And that's all material that would be provided to you in the packet of things that I can send out. Walsh County. Okay,
Okay, I'm adding everybody to my list and I'll connect with Carla for that. So thank
thanks,
you.
Megan.
And any more questions for Carla or Adrian about this fun contest?
We do have one more thing to share, but it's not related to the hunting skills.
Oh, great. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so I think I requested a packet. Okay, I'll just let you read them. Okay, so Adrian and I put together and we talked about this at, I'm gonna switch gears, Adrian, to golf. So we talked about golf at program planning, and Adrian sent out information about that here. I think it was yesterday, about the opportunity to receive some funds to put together a golf hole for a miniature golf course at 4-H camp. And so if you're interested in that, please let us know. We would love for our counties to design a golf hole so that we can include it in part of our miniature golf course at camp. And there's some guidelines there as far as it has to be portable so that we can put it away during the winter and those kind of things. So if you have questions, please let us know, but we're pretty excited about it. We received some funding for that project. So it's pretty exciting. So.
Okay, so I have to back you up. I sent that email to you last night to proofread before you sent it out.
Okay, I'm bad. I thought it said up on the top, it said counties. Okay, I'm bad. So, okay, well, I did proofread it and I liked it a lot. So we'll get it sent out today. How's that? I'm so sorry. And then for those of you who are interested in camp, I was up there yesterday and they're getting ready to dig the pond, and they have a bunch of long arms and they're going to bring in a dozer and all kinds of equipment at camp. So it's pretty exciting. Most of the snow is melted down there, and so it's exciting time for 4-H camp. So just wanted to share that too.
That sounds fun. Yay. Exciting. It'll be right around the corner. I was like, March is half gone, so
I know.
be fun. All right, well, were you gonna say something, Carla? Sorry.
No, but I was just gonna say, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to reach out. Now we're settled in our office and I can answer the phone and answer emails again. And I'll get information sent out to anyone, but I'm pretty excited. This is a really neat program that we can get kids involved with and hopefully create some opportunities for them to appreciate hunting and wildlife in North Dakota. So I'm very excited. So if you have any questions, please reach out. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla and Adrian. This was fun. Thank you. And again, if you joined late, that's fine. I just want to remind everybody next month, April 27th, we're going to have Aaron Bain from American Income Life Insurance as a refresher for upcoming camp season, achievement days, fairs, things like that. So it will be recorded, but if you can't, be on, you could send your support staff too. And I know a lot of support staff are very instrumental in insurance, so they might be the one that needs to join anyway. So I'll send out the reminder about that in a few more weeks, but April 27th is our April webinar Wednesday, and then we'll meet in May, and then we'll take off June, July, and pick back up in August. So thank you everyone for joining, and I will send this recording out later this week.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank y'all. Bye.